much of a choice because of the way the fixtures lined up. I knew it wasn't going to be, the best of weeks, shall we say. But yeah, it did not go well. It didn't go well, mostly because of Pep Guardiola and him screwing me over. So we got 40 points, average was 49, highest was 117. Unfortunately, I captained Aguero because, Man City were at home to Bournemouth and he didn't play him. Now, he's saying he's injured here, but I think he just rested him. I don't know. Also, he only played David Silva at midfield for 13 minutes. So I was like, brilliant, excellent. And then I brought in Martial because Man United were playing Southampton. And I thought, surely Man United will beat Southampton. No. And they didn't even start Martial. So, yeah. And I knew, because I had 3 Liverpool players, I knew that I would probably struggle a little bit. But I did think Palace would beat Burnley, so at least I got a clean sheet there. But Lloris obviously conceding 4 goals in the derby, which I did not expect. Yeah, so terrible week. We got subbed in Wilson for Aguero, but obviously lost the captaincy. Silva got 1 point because he was vice captain. He got 2. So yeah, and Van Dijk, the kind of star player, I guess, for the week, but shockingly bad. I'm down to 8th in the Place Cup now. I think I was 2nd for a while, wasn't I? But I'm well off now. Certainly not over. A few good weeks. But I must have had the worst, November, nearly in the entire thing. So brilliant. Who had the highest week? Let's have a look. I think it's joint, isn't it? Yeah, between Fergard and Janir. Let's have a look at these teams then. Are they just the same team? Doherty, that was a good shout. Sterling captain, fudge my life. And Aubameyang, okay, yeah. Robertson, Alonso, otherwise, yeah, pretty solid, I guess. Arnautovic, Wilson. Oh, unlucky with Wan-Bissaka. That's what you get for not having faith in Crystal Palace. I can't blame you. I cannot blame you though. And then what have we got here? Bernardo Silva, Felipe, Hazard. Okay, I dropped Hazard because I didn't think he would play. Excellent. And you captain Aguero, but then it came on to Hazard, so I lost out on 6 points there, I guess. Yeah. Awesome. Okay. Good to know that I completely screwed it up. We'll see. Oh dear. Not having a great time, I guess, with it, but that's the way it goes sometimes. I had a good start, and last year I had a bad start, but then made it up towards the end. And hopefully this year I've gone backwards. My under 500,000 hopes are getting dashed every week, but there really isn't that much in it. Probably maybe 50 points or something, which you can make up. So we'll see. Anyway, but yeah. What a weekend for football matches, though. It was a cracking weekend. I think the Sunday was phenomenal. I think it was one of the best Sundays. I guess for derbies. I guess maybe the Arsenal Spurs game was really the absolute standout game of the weekend. But we started off on a Friday night. I personally am not that keen on a Friday night football game. I don't really get it. But okay, fine. I guess it makes as much sense as a Monday night football game, right? So, might as well do it. I guess it's easier for people if they go into a Friday night football game because then they don't usually have to get up for work in the morning if you've got, a 9 to 5 Monday to Friday job sort of thing. But it does feel weird, I think. But anyway, Cardiff played Wolves. Cardiff beat Wolves despite going 1-0 down. And that is a fantastic result for Cardiff. Wolves are in a little bit of a free fall at the minute, aren't they? Lost, drawn, lost. They've got Chelsea up next. They had that start where everyone was like, oh yeah, they look like a Premier League team. They look like they've come in. They've got some excellent players. I mean, they still do have excellent players, but 16 points, that puts them 7 above the relegation zone. They're miles away from, I guess they're 6 points away from European qualification, so they're closer to that than the relegation zone, but form would suggest that they are not doing well at the minute. I think they've struggled without a kind of seasoned goal scorer a little bit. But, you know, it's always a struggle when a team comes into Premier League, especially if you're a team, I guess, who likes to play very attractive, like attacking football, because you are going to get outplayed in the Premier League, aren't you? You know, but there are going to be teams who are going to outplay you. I mean, their losses, I guess, 1-0 to Brighton, that would probably hurt because you wouldn't think Brighton would outplay them, but to be fair to Brighton, they're a very underrated side. I mean, losing to Tottenham, that was a kind of a bad result. From draw with Arsenal was decent enough. Lost to Huddersfield was a bad one. They played really badly in that game. And then losing to Cardiff. So, if you're a team who wants to stay up in the Premier League, the thing you've got to do is win against the teams, you know, towards the bottom. Like, don't drop points against them, because it's very difficult to take points off the top 6 or 7 or so. Well, maybe not Man United, but anyway. Certainly the top 5, shall we say. Very, very difficult to get any points off them. So you have to beat the teams around you, and that's how you stay up in the Premier League. And let's make no bones about it, people are talking about wars for European places, but their aim is just stay in the Premier League this season, get some money, you know, improve the squad, you know, take it from there really. That must be their aim. You know, I don't think their manager's under pressure at the minute to say that he did a great job. You know, they're still, as I said, 12th and comfortably above the relegation zone. But you know, Chelsea up next. It's only going to get tougher, really, for them. And you know, those losses to Cardiff and Huddersfield, they could come back to haunt them at some stage. As for Cardiff, well, listen, I've been saying for weeks, don't bet against Neil Warnock. Like, you know, he's managed my club twice, and for all the memes about him and all the jokes and, you know, all the rants he makes, and, you know, as much as he can sometimes look like a really backwards manager, you know, especially, you know, compared to like Pep Guardiola or someone, the fact of the matter is, he knows how to get the best out of players. You know, his man management skills are brilliant, and there is only one manager in this league, I think, who could save Cardiff, and that is him. So, you know, Cardiff, no disrespect, but when you look at the team sheet, they're not a Premier League side. You know, they're kind of like Newcastle last season. When you looked at Newcastle, they had 1 or 2 outstanding players, but those outstanding players were just kind of Premier League quality. You know, like a John Joe Shelby, for me, is kind of like a mid-table Premier League player. On his day, he could be very good, but he's wildly inconsistent, I think. And, you know, obviously, Benitez did a fantastic job keeping them up last season. And I think with Cardiff as well, there's a couple of players in there you can say have got some real quality about them, and they could go on. But there's a lot of players who are like, I mean, with no disrespect, but they're championship players who, you know, through teamwork and hard work and determination have made it into the Premier League. So I'm not taking anything away from them, but from a skill level, they're not quite Premier League's level, are they? And I think they would probably admit themselves. But when you have a team that works together, yeah, anything can happen, and they've got 2 wins in 3 games now. You know, and as I said, they're beating the teams around them. You know, they're going to lose to Liverpool, they're going to lose to City, they're going to lose to probably Everton and Tottenham and all those types of teams. You know, but if they can beat Wolves and they can beat Brighton, you know, these teams around mid-table downwards, or at least take some points off them. You know, West Ham next, and that would be a very interesting one. Then they stand a chance. I still have a feeling they're going to get relegated, but who knows? You know, it might work in their favour to stick with Warnock. Like, he is a fighter at the end of the day. Like, he's not a guy who will under sort of pressure. He's been down here many, many times. He's been flirting with relegation. He's been in worse situations, you know, with squads and clubs. And you know, we're on the 3rd of December now. We've got the January transfer window. I wonder what Cardiff are going to do. I wonder what all these teams are going to do. My team, Crystal Palace included. That could completely change the face of it, you know, or it could make absolutely no difference. Very, very interesting to see. As I said, do not bet against Neil Warnock. He is a fighter, you know. As I said, he might seem like a bit of a meme, but the guy knows what he's doing. Anyway, moving on. That was the Friday night game. Crystal Palace Burnley. Woof. Oh my god. This was a big, big game for both teams, to be completely honest. Both teams flirting down there with relegation. Both teams probably would have ended up in the relegation zone if they lost. A draw was not even really good enough for both teams. And Crystal Palace, and I'm not saying this even in a biased way, but we battered Burnley. We battered them. We had 29 shots, 9 on target. You can see Hart made 7 saves and we scored 2. Burnley, I think, had like 1 shot on target or something like that, 1 or 2, and about 5 shots or something. Like, it was all Palace, and when we play, we can play. Like Max Meyer, starting to come good. I knew it would take him a little while to adjust the Premier League, get his feet down and in, but he could be a big player, and we've missed that this season. Like a player who looks very comfortable on the ball and is, happy to kind of like be the playmaker, because we lost Kabay, who was a really important player for us over the last few seasons. But Max Meyer looks like he's going to come in and take that mantle. Obviously, we've got to talk about Townsend as well. What a goal! What a goal he scored. If you haven't seen it, take a look, because it was magnificent. Cutting in from the right, whipping it in with his left. He should be scoring more. He's had a ball season so far. He is a quality player, I think. He's one of those ones like Theo Walcott, where it's like talent-wise, he's got it all. It just seems to be like an inconsistency each week. He'll have patches where he will just look unplayable, and then he'll have patches where you never hear about him. Zaha had a good game as well. Defensively, we looked really solid, and Burnley just gave us nothing. And I'm worried for Burnley. Like, they made us look like Barcelona. No joke. They made us look like Barcelona. And Crystal Palace was a side who was struggling right now. And that was the easiest game we've had all season by far. So I generally worry for Burnley. They got Liverpool next, and it doesn't look good for them. They've had some Tonkins, and I don't think they should get rid of Sean Dyche at all. The guy has been an absolute legend for them, and I just think it's caught up with them. I think, like, when I look at Burnley's squad, I see a squad of overachievers, and I don't mean that in a disrespectful way at all, because overachieving is an achievement, but I do see a squad of overachievers. I see a squad which looks like it should be in a relegation battle, and hasn't been for the last few seasons because of hard work, teamwork, and now, with 29 goals conceded. We always talked about Burnley just being like really hard to play against, and for whatever reason, they're conceding goals left, right, and centre, and they've got to address that sooner rather than later, because they're 1 point off the bottom in the relegation zone, and that ain't good. As for Palace, like, even though we won that and it was comfortable, we got the derby next. The biggest joke derby in the league. Not even bloody that close to each other. Like, it's at least an hour and a half to 2 hours to get to Brighton for Crystal Palace. So I don't even understand it, but hey, there you go. I also couldn't care less about the rivalry, but seemingly a lot of Brighton and Palace fans do, so whatever. But that'd be important. We got to go to Brighton, and it'll be a good game, I'm sure. But we're only 4 points off the relegation zone. We'll talk about Southampton as well, because there's changes going on there. And I'm very, very happy we won. I'm more happy that we put in a really good display and scored 2 goals. But boy, oh boy, we should have scored way more. And oh man, I would give my right leg for a Dwight Kettle up front right now. I really would. It's just a goal scorer, That's what we need. That's what we have to go out and get in January. But January transfer windows are dodgy as hell, aren't they? Anyway, next up, Brighton beating Huddersfield. Huddersfield went 1 up, ended up losing. That's bad. They were on a good run, Huddersfield. especially being at home. They've got Bournemouth next. Bournemouth are not on a good run right now, as we can see, so there's potential there for them. Bournemouth just got the curse, didn't they? Everyone was talking about them. Then had 4 losses on the trot. It's a crazy league. Huddersfield, I still think they're going to go down again. I just feel like there's not enough quality in that team. I think again they're a team which works very hard together and has overachieved. And yeah, I think if I was being super harsh, I'd say like when they beat Wolves, there was a few individual performances there which were above how they normally play, and I don't think they're capable of sustaining that week in, week out. But we'll see. As for Brighton, I think they're pretty much exactly where they deserve to be. Mid-table. I think they'll probably finish up there. It's a good win for them. As I said, beat the teams around you. Obviously, they had to beat Cardiff. Everton's always a tough one, to be fair. And true with Leicester. If you beat the teams below you, you're going to be okay. So they'll be looking to beat Palace, I'm sure. I know 1,000,000% they will really be up for that. Leicester beating Watford as a great result. Obviously, Watford down to 10 men. Capoue, he's a bit of a nasty player, he really is. Watford, a bit like Bournemouth, in a little bit of free fall right now. They're unfortunately playing Man City next, so I don't think that's going to get any better for them there. Leicester pushing up to 8th. Yeah, unbeaten there in 5. They got Fulham next. That's a tough game for bottom of the table Fulham. I think Leicester will be really happy to finish around here. I could see them overtaking Man United even if things don't get better at Man United very quickly. So I think they're having a good season, and hopefully they do well. I think I feel like everybody's got a soft spot for Leicester because of them winning the league, obviously in miraculous fashion, and then obviously with the recent events that happened with their chairman as well. So yeah, I hope they do well. Man City against Bournemouth. I mean, I don't think maybe the result was ever in doubt, but when Wilson did score to make it 1-1, I was a bit like, oh, hang on a second. Obviously, Man City are just phenomenal. The only team I could see beating them this season are probably Liverpool. I think. I'm not sure if we're going to see an unbeaten season. It's too early to tell right now, I think. Well, I mean, it's too early to tell until the last game of the season, isn't it, to be fair? But when you have a plus 37 goal difference after 14 games, 43 goals scored, 6 conceded in 14, 2 drawn, 1 12, it blows you away. Obviously, the winter fixtures are always an interesting time in English football. They come thick and fast. It's cold. It's usually horrible conditions, and players get injured and fatigued. But they have a deep squad, and they have some excellent young players coming through. So I just don't see them losing anytime soon. I mean, when's their next hard games? They've got Watford, Chelsea. I guess that's the one you would say. They've got to get through that one. Everton could be a tough game. Crystal Palace, well, they'll win that one. Leicester. Okay, so they do have some. I'd say if they get out of December unbeaten, I think I would put money on them to go unbeaten the rest of the season, to be fair. They're just phenomenal. They could just turn it up, and even without Aguero, you have Sterling, Gundogan, Bernardo Silva, Sane was on fire. Sterling is obviously just phenomenal right now. He is playing like a world-class player. It's excellent. I said last week, Bournemouth play in such an attacking style that I just don't see them ever being able to beat Man City. Honestly, the only way you can beat Man City, there's 2 ways, I think. One is you have an incredibly good defence, and you get that counter break. I think Palace nearly did it last season. We got a draw. We missed a penalty in the last minute, but because we had the pace of Zaha on the break, you know, we. So my phone's go off. Yeah, because we had Zaha on the break and we defended very solidly. Like, it was difficult for them to break us down. Or you kind of do it the Liverpool way. You just take the flipping game to them and try and outscore them. But you need really good players to do that. Really, really good. So yeah, we'll kind of see what happens with that. So Newcastle lost to West Ham. Rafa Benitez said afterwards, he was going on about, well, you know, they spent more money than us, so, you know, this is what happens. And obviously that's a dig at the board, I understand, but from the board's point of view, they'll be saying, well, you just won 3 games in a row against teams who spent more money than us. The only team who probably hasn't spent more money than Newcastle this season is Tottenham, because they just didn't spend any money. Yeah, so, I mean, West Ham on their day are a really good side, and they're getting better and better as the season goes on. And I you know, they obviously lost to Man City, but everyone's going to lose to Man City. You know, but their form has been fairly decent. You know, it's going to be a very tough game for Cardiff, I think. Felipe Anderson's starting to really come to form. He's scored a couple of goals recently, I think, isn't he? Yeah. You know, he's got 4 goals in 4 games. You know, from not much else really, and he only played 67 minutes against Man City. So, yeah, he's starting to look like the kind of quality player he is. Southampton, I've kind of skipped over it actually, but anyway, I think West Ham are going to be fine. I don't think they're going to be able to push up into a European place, but to be fair, they're only about 7 points off it, aren't they? So maybe, but I think they're going to be absolutely fine this season. Yeah, I still don't think Pellegrini's the right choice for them, but and they spend so much money, they should be way higher than where they are. But that's a good win. You can't take that away from them. I wonder if they're going to be able to keep Arnautovic till the end of the season. I'm not so sure. Southampton, Man United, what a game. What a game. What the hell is happening? Southampton are, in my opinion, one of the worst sides of the Premier League. Like, you watch them play and they're just awful. Man United made them look like a bloody good side. And what is even going on at Man United? It should be a Man United team going there full of, they should be attacking them, taking it to them. They just looked awful. They go 2 goals down, and don't get me wrong, they were good goals by Southampton, to be fair. Fantastic free kick and a really good goal from Armstrong. Very good finish. That's 3 goals in 2 games for him. But this shouldn't be happening, right? It should not be happening, and then Man United get back into it, and then they don't manage to go on and win the game. Like, they just look really kind of like flat. And I mean, Lukaku scored a goal that ended his goal drought, which was like 1,000 minutes or something like that. Obviously, all the social media stuff go around. It's about him tripping over the ball when he tried to control it, which was quite funny, to be fair. And Herrera played, but Martial's one of your most dangerous players, and he was on the bench. Like, I just don't get it. I don't get them. Like, I don't want to go on about it. Go on about Man United every week, but Mourinho's not right there. I don't think that means he's a bad coach, and I think they lack a lot of leaders. And he's right when he kind of what he said about the team, that they do lack that kind of attitude and like the gung-ho, like the kind of like the drive and the aggression. But that is also his fault. He's been there for 3 seasons now. He's been buying players left, right and centre. So I'm sorry, you can't turn around and say, oh, we don't have this, we don't have that, because he's had enough time to put it in the team. Southampton sacked Mark Hughes. That's the right decision in my opinion. I don't know who they're going to get in yet. I don't think we've had any confirmation. I'm just checking my phone just to see if anybody's going to come in. They said, oh, the search is now going to go on to find his replacement. I'm thinking to myself, you seriously just sacked him without anybody coming in? But then they've got Spurs next, to be fair. And then they've got Cardiff. So I think maybe what they're thinking is, well, the Spurs game we're probably going to lose. Huddersfield as well. So maybe they're thinking, well, we sack him now. We've got those big games coming up. They got West Ham the week after that. So maybe they're thinking we'll get someone in there. Maybe we can get some points from those games rather than, And I think it was absolutely right. He did 13% win rate. That's shocking. They've won one game, the lowest in the league, and they've looked awful. And they're not a terrible side. Like, I don't think they're a very good side. I don't think some of the players they've brought are very good, but they're not bad enough to be 18th. I think in a league which has like Huddersfield, Cardiff, Newcastle, maybe even Palace in them. So yeah, he needed to go. I don't know what Big Sam's doing, but maybe he's going to get a phone call fairly soon. And then we have the weekend's games. Oh my goodness me. So I don't think there's any surprise at Chelsea beating Fulham. Fulham had a good win. It was some good goals from Pedro. Glad to see Loftus-Cheek get in there with a goal as well. Did he actually play the whole game? No, he played 23 minutes. Like, this is shocking for me. This guy is a quality player, and he's played 116 minutes this season. Oh, that's shocking for me. I know, like, I'm a bit biased because he had a fantastic season with Palace last year, but he's got to be playing Premier League football. Like, I don't understand. I don't understand it. For me, he's got to leave in January on loan somewhere, or they sell him at the end of the season or something, because it's just a waste. It's a waste of a guy's talent. He's talented enough, I think, to be one of the top players in the Premier League, like a top midfielder for a top 6 club. And if Chelsea don't want him because he doesn't fit their style, it's fair enough. Make some money on him, let the guy go and play some football. It's kind of ridiculous for me, but obviously I hope Palace get him on loan. But he is quality, Loftus-Cheek. I really like him as a player. Fulham, we all knew that was probably going to be a loss for them. They're in trouble. We'll see how Ranieri makes it. Obviously they're at home to Leicester. That should be pretty interesting with his connection there. But otherwise, I'd say a pretty unremarkable game, really. Both sides had more chances. I totally deserved Chelsea win, though, to be fair. Arsenal Spurs, woof, what a game, eh? Jesus Christ. It was just non-stop. Arsenal taking the lead early on through a penalty. Apparently Mike Dean's given out more Premier League penalties than any other club has had in the Premier League, except for Liverpool, by like 2. It's crazy. Anyway, then Spurs got back into it with a poorly defended free kick, you have to say, from Arsenal, and then Kane scores a penalty. I think it was Son who was taken down, was it? I don't know. Son looked pretty good though, actually. Looks like he's kind of getting back in form. But then Arsenal, they just came back into it. It was woeful defending from Spurs, and Arsenal just have players who will hurt you. Aubameyang, Lacazette will seriously hurt you if you give them time and space. I would argue and say Lacazette's goal was a little bit lucky with the deflection, but he did well. Aubameyang's was not luck. It was a fantastic finish. His second, absolutely brilliant. And Arsenal thoroughly deserved. I didn't think Arsenal were going to win this game. Thoroughly deserved. They've now gone into 4th, 30 points. Do we talk about them as a potential, I don't think title contender, but as a 3rd place contender maybe? Absolutely. They've only lost 2 games. They were the first 2 games of the season. Man United up next, and I think they're going to smash Man United. I really do. I think Unai Emery's doing a very good job there so far. They have to sort that defence out. That's what's holding them back, and that's why they won't win the league this season. They could win the Europa League. They could win the Cups or whatever. That would be great. And they could finish in the top 4, and I think that would be a fantastic season for them. Spurs, well, I mean, they're just a bit Spursy, aren't they, really? I think if they just try and finish top 4 this season, that'll be an achievement. But I genuinely believe, the funny thing was, this was the first time this season Spurs have played in North London. Technically North London, because Wembley's in North West London, so depends how you count London. But anyway, yeah, so they've got to sort that stadium thing out. That's the number one thing they have to sort out, and then take it from there. This season's a write-off for them. They've just got to try and get some Champions League football, I think, for next season. It's going to be tough. And then maybe they could buy a player. Who knows? It might be a good idea. But there you go. Liverpool-Everton, I mean, Jesus, this was a great game. I don't know how there wasn't more goals in this game. I watched the highlights of it, and it was ridiculous. Ridiculous the amount of chances both sides had. A draw would have been a fair result, obviously, in the end. I mean, I have to say, Pickford, he has an error in him, doesn't he, every now and then, unfortunately. We've seen that with England. He's got away with it a few times. He obviously did not get away with it this time. I think he's a brilliant goalkeeper, but he has an error in him. And this was one of those errors, you know, where the interesting thing is, like, as I said, I think Pickford's a brilliant goalkeeper. I think he's England's number one. I think he deservedly is. But there was that kind of comment about him during the World Cup that he was too short. You know, I think it was Courtois. It was obviously like Courtois kind of backed down from the quote, but he was kind of saying about how Pickford was a bit too short. If Pickford was a bit taller, there's no way that goal goes in, because he obviously jumps up for some reason with both hands to try and get the ball. As it was, the ball would have hit the crossbar and gone out. I think, pretty sure of that. He leaps up to try and catch it with two hands, but he couldn't quite make it. It comes back down, and Origi, you know, is there to just head it in. Or it bounces off the crossbar, so I think he doesn't quite get to it. If he's a few inches taller, he knocks that out for a corner. Or if he tried to knock it out for a corner, like just used one hand and stretched a bit more to knock it out, play it a bit safer, it's a corner, you're probably just looking at a 0-0 derby. As it was, you know, Origi was there. Divock Origi, guys. Crazy. Great assist for Van Dijk. Easiest assist he'll have all season. But you know, it means Liverpool stay within distance of Man City, and you know, that's all they can do, because they're not playing brilliantly right now. Liverpool, like, they're playing really well, but they're not playing to the heights they were towards the end of last season. And so we know they can go up a gear, and they're still only 2 points behind City. So for me, they're still well in with this title race, but they've got to start playing a little bit better. Defensively, obviously, they're brilliant. They're just not quite scoring as many goals as they were last season. So, you know, they've kind of like tightened up one end, and it's loosened up the other end a little bit. They just need to find that balance a little bit better, I think. But yeah, I feel sorry for Everton. Like, they fully deserved at least a draw from that game. I think the best they can hope for is probably 6th this season. They should beat Newcastle next time around, and they look good. But my God, there should have been way more goals in that game than there was. It was end-to-end stuff. So a great Sunday's worth of football, just a good weekend of football, I think, in total. Not that many shocks or surprises, possibly apart from the Southampton game, but overall pretty good. I've got to really sort my team out. I don't even know what's going on right now. I'll have to have a look before. I guess I've got to have a look tonight, because we've got some midweek, guys. We've got some midweek games. I didn't even realise this. I thought it was next weekend. Jesus Christ. Okay, well, here we go again. Tuesday. So I'm gonna keep Zaha probably. If I look at my team, Aguero apparently is injured. Man City have got Watford. I don't think they'll play him, so we'll definitely switch in Wilson for him. They've got Newcastle, so I fancy Richarlison. Arsenal, Man United is on the Wednesday night. I think David Silva will play against Watford. I think they just rested him. I'm happy. Am I happy to keep Wilson? Did Shaqiri even play? 70 minutes, yeah. Are they going to play him? I think so. I'm definitely going to keep these guys. Burnley away. They'll keep a clean sheet. I think Lloris will keep a clean sheet. I think Laporte will keep a clean sheet. Not so sure about Wan-Bissaka. So the question is, which player do I cut? And it's got to be Martial, hasn't it? Like, that was a terrible transfer in. What the hell was I thinking? How much have I got? 11.4. Who do I get in here? Oh my God, I'm just short on Sterling. I've got to put Sterling in, right? He's just phenomenal right now. I've got to have Sterling in. Do I take a hit and drop Martial as well? Got 8.5. I kind of fancy Sigurdsson for Everton. Everton have got Newcastle. Oh no, West Ham have got. Yeah, I'm going Felipe. He's looking for. I'm going to take the 4-point hit, and Anderson in. Yikes. Okay, so I keep Aguero on the bench. I'm gonna put in. I'm gonna put Anderson as my captain. I'll go for it this week. Look at this, crazy man. And we'll keep it like that. Jorginho can stay on the bench. Trips. Watford. Vice captain Richarlison. There we go. Save my team. Boom. Okay, there we go. That's the team for tomorrow night. Let's see how we do. I've got to pick up some points here, surely. Surely, please. Please, football gods, help me out here. Some interesting games coming up, but definitely, I think the Tuesday's a bit weak, but the Wednesday, Man United, Arsenal, Wolves, Chelsea, Fulham, Leicester, there's some interesting games there. But till next time, guys, which I guess will probably be Thursday. I'll see you soon.